Good afternoon. It is time for thought for the week, and it is still a bank holiday here in the UK. It's bank holiday Easter weekend. It's Monday, and I just wanted to touch base with you because I have had a very interesting week. It's been full of all sorts of strange and wonderful things, lots of treats, lots of me giving, lots of me receiving, and it's completely transformed my mood. So, on Tuesday last week, if we rewind back, I was feeling very, very discombobulated. I went for a walk with my puppy and I was walking through this wonderful field right by the river, which has recently been opened up where I live. And it was completely new to me. I'd never been there before. And in the field, right by the river, in a kind of quite a secluded spot, was this giant fallen oak. It had come down, and I sat on this gigantic tree trunk, and I just it's very grounding, isn't it? When you sit on a something natural like a big old tree trunk. I mean, it must have been over 100 years old, maybe 200 years old, this oak tree. And I sat there and thought to myself, Lisa, this is not good. You're not in a good place today. I felt quite overwhelmed. I felt tearful. And I felt like I had so much on my to-do list. I was never going to get through it. And I was just going to just, I just didn't seem to have the clarity that I usually have. And I just felt discombobulated, out of sorts, not me. Normally, I'm Lisa with the glass overflowing, certainly more than half full. And last Tuesday, which is almost a week ago, I felt empty and I couldn't see or work out a way that I was going to get that kind of glass back up to being half full again. I just did not feel right. And it had been a full moon that weekend. So I've noticed that I have a sort of cycle of moods, which are often to do with the moon and the planets and the stars and where they're aligned and things. I have noticed that. And I do think it does affect my mood. But it was more than that. It was a feeling of slightly worthless and discombobulated, like I said, and just yeah, empty, down in the dumps. What's going on with my life? Where am I going? What's it all about? That kind of feeling, which I very rarely get. And I had a very busy week full of interesting and different things that I embraced because I thought, actually, Lisa, run with this because this is probably what you need. The following day, I was working. I work in an amazing 1960s architect designed house that belonged to a very phenomenally successful makeup entrepreneur. And it is like a time capsule. It was built in the 1968, and it is kind of like Austin Powers meets James Bond. It's an amazing house with a fantastic art collection and mid-century furniture, height of design of its time, really high end, really beautiful. And I gave two tours around the house, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So that was about 5 hours out of my day. And it was a lovely day. And it's just a gorgeously designed spring garden. All the trees were heavy with blossom. It was stunning. So that really put a bit of a bounce in my step. Then on Thursday, I did an organised walk with a group of kind of rambler friends, and we went off into the bluebell woods, through fields, all over the place, around this area. I've never been to the places that we went to, so that was really interesting. And that sort of was, again, a few hours out of my day of doing something really quite exciting and healthy. And then in the afternoon, pièce de la résistance, I had a facial, a very indulgent facial. I was given a voucher and I thought, Lisa, book yourself a facial, pamper yourself. I don't think I've had a facial since I was in Egypt, which was 2000, I don't know, 9 or 8 or something, a very, very long time ago. And it was so relaxing. It was so grounding and it was so good to have that sort of all those senses awakened and realigned. And my face felt just like it had gone through some kind of process of I don't know, anti-aging, detoxing. And I felt moisturized and fresh and delicious. And it was just phenomenal. And I am going to make sure that I book another one for later on, perhaps after the summer, to get rid of all of that sort of sun skin that just get it all nice and fresh for the autumn. So I'm going to definitely try and look after myself a bit more. I think it's really important. When I speak to people, other women, about it, they say, oh yeah, I book myself a massage, I have a massage every 6 weeks, or yeah, I get my nails done every couple of weeks, and yeah, I have a pedicure every month. And I just think, do you know what, Lisa? Just organize yourself and do it, because you're worth it. So I'm going to get my nails done. I think my daughter's coming tomorrow. So I think we're going to go, and I'll treat us to a pedicure. That would be lovely. I haven't had a pedicure since 2019. So that was before lockdown. So that's well overdue. And I really need it. So yeah, I think a bit more self-care, a bit more pampering, um, discovery of new places, talking to interesting different people, getting out in the fresh air. These are all things that can help mental health and well-being, and also your state of mind. I mean, state of mind as in not just, I'm not talking really about mental health, state of mind and state of body. Just actually bringing your brain and your soul and your mind and your thoughts back into your body and reconnecting with your body. I think when you live on your own, you don't have anyone to hug you. You don't have anybody to cuddle you up to you at night. You don't have anyone to touch you. And there is no intimacy, and there is very little sort of outside stimulation. I've got my dog, but I don't have the warmth of a human being with me. And I think it's really vital that, if I make that choice, which I have at the moment, I'm not closed off to things, but I've definitely made that conscious decision at the moment that I want to be on my own. I want to take good care of myself. Then take good care, Lisa. Organize, that pedicure, have a massage, do those things for yourself, because nobody else is going to do it. You've got to actually get out there and sort it and get it done and treat yourself occasionally. I'm not saying do it every day, every week, but just once a month, once every few months, do something nice. So I'm going to do that because I'm worth it. And my thought for the week is look after yourself, pamper yourself, do a few things which you don't normally do for yourself. Even if it's just, and I am actually going to do this, get a couple of washing up bowls, and I'm going to go and buy two washing up bowls, square ones, and I am going to get a towel, and I am going to put some hot water with some Epsom salts and some aromatherapy oils, maybe some rosemary and lavender and some eucalyptus and things like that, arnica, and I am going to soak my feet in warm, fragrant Epsom salt water. As I sit here, I am going to do that. And I'm going to make sure I do that every week, because that is a very, very soul enhancing thing. Not just soles of the feet, but soul of your soul. And it's something that I think we need to do: self care, self love, because you're worth it. And that's my thought for the week. Take good care of yourself. And like I said, if you don't have the money to go and have pedicures or foot massages or whatever it is, get yourself a couple of washing up bowls, stick some Epsom salts in it with a nice bit of some kind of fragrance, rose oil or whatever you've got, tea tree oil, something that's going to be refreshing, peppermint oil, it's good for your feet, soothing, calming, and that smell, the aromatherapy scent that comes up from the warm water as you sit there and you can just lie back and relax in a comfy chair. That is what I'm talking about. So go and look after yourself, take good care of yourself, and make sure that you make those things happen, because you are worth it and I am worth it. We're all worth it. So look after yourself. Lots and lots of love. I tell you what, look after yourself, and those blues and those moods and those discombobulated feelings will soon evaporate into the thin air with the lovely scent of those aromatherapy oils that you use to anoint yourself with. It's lovely. Take good care. Love. Lots of love. Bye bye.